Welcome to The Sports Answer with Rudy Campos Jr. From the latest NBA news to the gridiron and beyond, we are diving deep into the headlines that matter most to you. Today's show is proudly brought to you by Salem Surround San Antonio, your local experts in digital marketing and audience connection. Before we break the huddle, do me a huge favor. Head over to YouTube and subscribe to the Answer Now TV. Don't miss a single highlight, interview, or heated debate. The clock is ticking and the game is on. Let's go.
Hey, Sports Answer fans, Rudy Campos Jr. for the Sports Answer, part of Answer Now TV on YouTube. Shout out to Salem Surround, 210-526-3635, or go to the website, salemsurround.com/San Antonio, where you can get all your digital marketing needs. Again, that is Salem Surround, 210-526-3635. We're not going to talk bad about Salem Surround. We may talk bad about the San Antonio Spurs. This entire show is a Spurs Chsime show, coming off of a very tough loss last night to the Denver Nuggets, 136-134. Who better to break it down with than a part of the family, the Answer Now TV family, Mr. Jeff Garcia of Spurs in Focus. But you know what? You love that Chisme segment. Let's kick it off the right way.
So, like, I hear about the Spurs, this y Spurs that, y como que esto y esta, pero I never hear about the real Spurs chisme. Nine, por favor.
And as promised, Jeff Garcia of Spurs in Focus. I think you always get a kick out of our Chisme segment.
You know what it is? It's those cartoon characters. like to me, like I can, like I know it's a human voice doing that, but like my nerd mind takes over. I'm like, are they really talking like that? By the way, I have a co-host on my end today, Rudy.
Oh man, Silverhawks, man. Oh
yeah,
my God,
you got blue.
And you know what? To be honest, I think you and I are the same. We have Ross finds. We just go to Ross and we find all the great stuff there.
No, man.
I've found some buku stuff. In fact, all of my toys pretty much.
I remember one time you texted me photos of your finds, and I think my response to you was like, where did you get that? And you're like, Ross. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah. And I think the only time I've ever found a big time clearance deal, and I actually showed you, was when I bought the Joker, the McFarlane Joker movie.
I remember that. Yeah.
I think it was like for $16 on clearance at Target.
Nice.
At Target of all places. But nonetheless, man, you know, we got Jeff Garcia. Again, you can find Spurs in Focus on his YouTube page, which is Spurs in Focus. Hit his Substack, Spurs in Focus. But for all you Answer Now TV fans out there, which there are a bunch of them, you can also find Jeff's Spurs in Focus on Answer Now TV, as well as other YouTube channels across the YouTube universe. So he's out everywhere. He is completely everywhere. His shows go live throughout the week as well. But Jeff, we're going to get right into it, man. Last night you had Denver, you had Nikola Jokic, almost another triple-double. They beat the Spurs 136-134. Battle of the MVP candidates.
Yeah.
Nikola Jokic, 40 points, 13 assists, 8 rebounds. But let's not leave out Wemby, man. Wemby had 34 and 18 and 7 assists. Big time battle, but at the end, the Nuggets did get the victory by 2. Spurs were in control for majority of the game. Right. But man, was it as big of a loss for you, in your opinion, to Denver? Because we're going to get into Victor's comments in a little bit, but I want to get your thoughts on it. How devastating was this loss for them?
Devastating for me, no. I embraced the L. I think this is exactly the medicine this team needed. Not the only one who said that. Julian Champagnie said that as well after the game, saying this is the type of game they needed to figure out what's not working. And there's some stuff that's not working. For example, like making just stupid plays. Julian, I love you, but you didn't have to go 1-on-3 to a dunk. You know, you attempted dunk. You didn't have to do that. De'Aaron Fox, Devin Vassell, there was no need to get fancy and try to do an alley-oop pass when the game is on the line. Obviously, too, their defense just floundered. I mean, leaving Cam Johnson wide open. Joker got open a few times. The lane was just wide open. I mean, Aaron Gordon had a clear path to the rim. It's like there was some sort of defensive breakdown. So, look, no NBA team is perfect. Not even the Thunder, not even the Spurs, not even the guy you see on your screen right now, Denver's Joker. But there's some stuff to clean up. And I think this team needed it. I've always been camp. Spurs need to get tested before the postseason starts. And they did. And you know what, though, for the rest of the field, though, it's scary. Think about it. The Spurs did not play their A game, and they took Denver to overtime. Well, Denver took the Spurs to overtime. They came back.
Mhm.
So even when they're not playing their A game, they're still a handful to deal with. Steph Castle got in foul trouble. Maybe that limited him. Wemby was doing all he could do. But I think I'm not upset about the loss. I'm actually happy it happened because I'd rather them do stupid things now versus a game 7. Maybe they're down 0-3 or they're up 3-1 or 3-0 and they need a closeout game and they just mess it up. So I'm okay with it. Julian and Mitch Johnson, they just said, you know what, they just got to move forward. That's all they can do. They got to get back to the drawing board. The good news is they go home for to close out the regular season. I think it's 3 games straight. So all good. But, and also too, I think we can already put to rest the chase for number 1 seed, right? I think that loss sealed it already.
I think it did. I mean, even though Oklahoma City still has a tougher schedule than San Antonio to end the season with, I think it's safe to say that they're probably going to be the 2 seed. Now, what I am looking forward to is we had breaking news the other night where Luka Doncic was out. We also got Austin Reeves being out for the season. So both guys are going to be out for the regular season and more than likely the first round of the playoffs. Denver probably gets that 3 seed. So that means they will face San Antonio in that second round if they get to that point. So now looking at this, for me, you know for a fact, and Spurs and Focus fans and Answer Now fans, Sports Answer fans, they all know that I've taken Denver at the beginning of the season to win.
Yes, you have.
And this was the reason why, because a healthy Denver squad is a very, very dangerous squad. You saw the way Aaron Gordon was able to step his snap up on defense, which, I mean, he did a tremendous job against Wemby and a lot of the players that he was guarding. Jokic, I mean, he just did Jokic things, man. But what you saw the most out of San Antonio was the lapse and the collapse on the defensive side. You saw Christian Braun open for a bunch of three-point opportunities. And Jamal Murray was knocking down a few three-pointers as well. Cameron Johnson, who's kind of been not so steady knocking down the 3 balls. So real quick on this game, do you kind of chalk it up more to Denver just got hot at the end of the game and San Antonio was just kind of punched in the mouth? And you know what? I mean, they got knocked out. That's all it was. It's not a complete loss of the season. They just got a really hard punch to the jaws. What it was. Do you think it was just Denver getting hot the very last part of the game?
That, and I also think you mentioned the Spurs defense just folding, but also that experience shining through. Even though the Nuggets were down for most of the game, there was maybe one point I thought, okay, the Spurs got this. But the moment I just vocally said that out loud, what do I see? A Christian Braun 3 or a Murray and 1, or then the killer was the 4-point play. So that 4-point play. I think that was a turning point for the game. But no, I look back at the game and I say, you know what? Denver never looked like they were down for the count. They never did. And the Spurs, I think they perhaps got rushed, when they felt the pressure of Denver coming back at them. They wilted. But I just go back to this, and that's not them playing their A game against a Denver team, a loaded Denver team, and they still nearly got the win. I think it was just a lot of mental mistakes down the stretch, defensively, offensively. We highlighted a couple, Julian trying to dunk on 3 Nuggets. Why? There's no need for that. But the Spurs definitely are not down about it. Julian mentioned, hey, we can learn stuff from this. Wemby said it was fun. It was a fun game. So they don't look too bothered by this. Now, they got another shot at them to close out the regular season in San Antonio. We'll see how that goes. But I don't know we'll get the full arsenal. I think by then, perhaps it's a little time for load management for a few of those guys on both ends of the court. So I'm looking forward to the final game of the regular season, but I'm also not, because you can probably see it right now. The both teams are probably not going to be playing with their full complementary players. I think what you saw tonight, I'm sorry, well, whenever this goes last night, excuse me.
Yeah, last night.
That I think the Spurs got lessons in how to win. The little things. Mitch Johnson highlighted that as well. He said Denver, well, first of all, he said the Spurs, in his opinion, they did a great job. Now, he did highlight some mental mistakes, but he said, look, that's that team across there. They did the little thing, the tiny things that make the difference between a loss and a W. And the Spurs got that lesson.
Yeah, and I mean, to me, it was a good loss. It was a really good loss. It was against, like I said, probably the best team when healthy. I have Denver better than OKC. I've had them better than OKC, when they're healthy. I mean, it shows why. I mean, they go out, they get a Tim Hardaway Jr., they go out and they get a Jonas Valanciunas. I mean, they made a lot of good moves in the offseason to give them another shot at the title. And you saw it today. I mean, you're right. They were never down for the count. They won 2 out of the 4 quarters. Now, the second quarter was a tie, 24-24, when it came to team for total points. But Spurs ran away in the first quarter. They tried to hang on to the lead.
Right.
Denver kept fighting. And then it was just kind of mental errors. And I want to get into those mental errors here in just a little bit, talking to Jeff Garcia, Spurs in Focus. Again, the Nuggets beat the Spurs last night, 136-134. Victor came out, and this is from Jared Weiss from The Athletic. And basically the question was asked, and I got it from Jared Weiss, and he says, Victor responded to, basically the game. He says, I think it was an amazing game, very fun. One of the most fun games. I wish we could have closed it out. My conclusion on this game is that it was good for us. It's a real test against a team that's actually playing for something right now. Goes back to what I've said about this Spurs team and the reason why I love this team and the reason why I think they are going to compete for an NBA title. And another reason why I have them as one of the best Spurs teams regular season-wise of all time was because, again, go back to the Minnesota game months ago, Jeff, probably at the beginning of 2026. They had that massive lead against Minnesota just to blow it in the fourth quarter. It was just kind of like, what happened? They got railroaded by a Timberwolves team in Minnesota. This game had the same familiar tone to it. They got railroaded by a Nuggets team. But again, you don't feel this team being rattled at any point. It's like, we lost. We know what we did. It was a great game. But okay, time to move on to Philadelphia on Monday. Is that the same feeling you might be feeling with Victor in his comments here? Because again, this team just doesn't get rattled for whatever reason. You don't ever hear them going back and forth at each other.
I'm with you. Although the loss sucks, but I know there's no such thing as moral victories, but in this loss, I think there is. The lessons learned. Yes, and it was a fun game. It really was. It was probably the best game of the night. It was phenomenal. Overall, Rudy, I just go back to the little things. And I think that's going to stand out for this team. They got a taste of what it's like to kind of be in a playoff-ish atmosphere. It felt like a playoff game. It really, really did. Yeah. But talk about those little things. So I pull up some of the numbers here. So for the game, the Spurs had a 9.3% turnover percentage. Not bad. Not bad. No. Denver, 5.7 turnover percentage. The little things. Here's another little thing. Spurs, true shooting percentage. The real measurement of how well they're doing from the field, 3 and inside the 3 line. 59%. Great. That's pretty good. Denver, 61%. The little things that makes a difference between that and an L and a W here. Other things that stood out for me in this game, because Mitch highlighted he said the tiny things. Second chance points. Denver just got one more bucket than Spurs, 14-12. Fast break points. I would have thought that it would be the Spurs running that pace against Denver. Spurs had 10 fast break points to Denver's 18. Those little extra things there. What's amazing, too, is that the Spurs led for the game for almost the entire game, 46 minutes. Denver only led for the game for 5 minutes, and they got the win. The little things really right there.
And you mentioned the little things. Let me get into something that's a little bit more. The Spurs are one of the best defensive teams in the league. You would probably call me a liar if I said Spurs had 5 steals, Denver had 5 steals. Spurs had 6 blocks, Denver had 6 blocks. You don't normally see, and this is, if you go back to a lot of people, when you talk about Denver, you never talk about defense.
Mhm.
It's they always question, can they defend and defend well enough to keep their opponents under their scoring
Yeah.
margin?
Yeah.
Well, Aaron Gordon made a huge difference today. You
Mhm.
saw Nikola Jokic chase down
Yeah.
and get a block. I mean, you don't see him ever do that. So this Denver team matched one of the best defensive teams in the league in San Antonio.
Mhm.
And I think that was another, what you said, a small factor. Denver rose to the occasion when they needed to the most.
Yeah.
They played just good enough defense to
Mhm.
get to the fourth quarter in winning time, and then they laid it out on the floor. So you're right. I mean, it's just little things left and right. I'm glad Victor sees it the way a lot of us see it,
Mhm.
and he doesn't go on Twitter and overreact like a lot of
Yeah.
fans do when it comes to a Spurs loss. But speaking of that, man, before we go to commercial break in a little bit, the angry Spurs fans all over the place. I kind of feel like I need to be the voice of reason, and you can kind of join me on this. But you saw De'Aaron Fox getting laid into again, a
Yeah.
$60 million man, and this is the type of play that we get. Why is he doing this? He's committed. Would you be surprised if I said De'Aaron Fox had less turnovers than Stephon Castle did in this game?
No, actually, I wouldn't. No, I would not
He
be
had less.
surprised.
Would you be surprised if those air balls that De'Aaron Fox had, 0 for 6 from 3-point range,
Mhm.
was matched to Stephon Castle's 0 for 4 from
Mhm.
3-point range? Two guys that have been shooting the three ball pretty well
Mhm.
lately. So again, why is De'Aaron Fox getting the short end of the stick when it comes to fans? Because you can't just point to De'Aaron. I know he had a couple of missed shots, but you know what? Not every shot goes in. It's a
Yeah.
50-50 ball. But
I think
why not Kelton Johnson was 0 for 6 from 3-point range.
yeah,
There's a
I
lot of
think
blame to go around.
he's just a whipping boy for the Spurs. And you're right. I think the money has a lot to do with it. Also, too, he is the co-captain, the co-star to
Okay.
Wemby. So I think Spurs fans expect him to live up to that co-star, that counterpart to Wemby. And at least in this game, he was kind of subpar. You figure this too. He misses a few jump shots in the overtime period. He's the one. I think he fouled Murray on the 4-point play.
He did.
So those things get highlighted more, and then Spurs fans jump on that. You look at the Nuggets, after De'Aaron Fox had missed a 2-point jump shot with I think it was about 3 minutes and 34 seconds into the overtime period already. What happens? Denver goes on a 10-7 run.
Yeah.
So I think it was just his mistakes were highlighted because Denver capitalized on that. The 4-point play, the 10-7 run to close out overtime period, missed jump shots when it was needed. That comes to the territory. You're touted as Wemby's co-star. You are the second man up for the Spurs. You're at the top, nearly at the top of the totem pole. And he had some errors down the stretch that cost the Spurs. But look, it wasn't just him. Mitch Johnson highlighted how Champagnie should have not have done a few plays.
Yeah.
Vassell. I mean, it's not just Fox that caused the loss to Denver. They all did.
Mm-hmm. And this is what I think. This is what really upsets me the most is that they get on De'Aaron, and I see a lot of people. We paid this man max money. We paid him $60 million. You brought up the money. Well, you got to remember, you're talking about an all-star guy, one of the best point guards in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Not every player on the Spurs roster is eligible for max money. Victor's going to be coming up here pretty soon. You're going to have a max contract on this team, and that is De'Aaron Fox right now.
Mm-hmm.
So where everybody says we're paying him X number of dollars, he was going to get that regardless, whether he's a Spur, he's a Nugget, he's a Bull, he's anywhere. He's going to get that regardless. The Spurs have, they're going to have they're going to have multiple max players. And De'Aaron Fox, is one of them. So the money part, I don't get why fans get all upset about the money. You're paying him the money. He was going to get that deal no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't trade for De'Aaron Fox just to let him go in a year or two. They traded him to be a focal point and a main participant with the Spurs squad. So I think that's what irritates me the most is that he was the reason why they beat the Clippers the other night.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no Wemby without De'Aaron Fox. I mean, there's a probably good chance maybe they don't win that game.
Right.
But then again, he has a bad game against one, if not the best team in the league in Denver, and the sky's falling, man. I mean,
there's also
gotta chill.
There was also some plays too where Wemby was open a few times and he didn't pass the ball to him. So there's that as well. And Spurs fans saw that and like, what are you doing? Pass the ball to Wemby, De'Aaron.
It's hard to pass it to him when he gets the ball with 4 seconds left on the shot clock. I mean, you gotta make a move.
Yeah, and you look at the distribution from Fox assist wise. He had for the game, I believe. I have it for the game. He had 1 assist to Champagnie, 1 assist to Harper, 1 assist to Vassell, and 1 assist to Wemby. That's it. I think perhaps Spurs fan would like to see a little bit more facilitation out of him, but I think he's a good facilitator. The numbers back it up. He puts up numbers, but in a critical game like this, where you could have sent a message to Denver saying, "I know it's a regular season, but we beat you in your gym once without Joker. Now we beat you in your gym with Joker." I mean, I think that's a missed opportunity just collectively for the team, not necessarily for De'Aaron Fox, but his mistakes I think were just magnified because of the timing of it.
Do you think at the end of the day, and I'm going to ask this, at the end of the day, and this is the way I feel, Denver needed this game more than San Antonio?
I think so because they're in a fight right now for that 3, 4, 5 area. It's kind of jumbled up right there.
Yeah.
The Lakers, you could pretty much pencil them to fall. They're going to fall, free fall now. Yeah. So Denver's going to try to get up the standings more, and much to the chagrin of Spurs, they're now in their bracket. But no, Denver needed it more. I think Denver needed to let the kids know, hey, you're maybe the new kids on the block, but we're still the Kings. So, yeah, if I had to weigh it out, I think Denver had more to prove in the win.
All right, before we go to commercial break, man, we got to ask the question now. Are the Spurs ready for the playoffs? I understand they went on a massive run since February 1st. This is only their 3rd loss since February 1st. So, yep. I mean, they're still primed for it. And the question of are they ready for the playoffs? Do you think a loss like this gets them even more ready for the playoff? Absolutely. It's more battle tested?
Absolutely. I think this is exactly the medicine the Spurs needed before the postseason. I'd rather them make all these stupid mistakes right now than they do in a crucial game in a playoff series versus a Denver or whoever they draw in the first round. Mm-hmm. There's a big target on their backs, and they know it. And they're trying to downplay the whole lack of experience. And what did Victor say to ESPN? Screw it. We don't have experience, so screw it. Yeah. And it's going out. Players are reacting to it. Media heads are reacting to it. Look at this guy here. He's touting how much he's MVP. Look at all this. The target gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm pretty sure they'll embrace it. But I think they needed to I want to say be humbled, but just kind of come back down to earth a little bit. Saying, look, you guys are good, but this is what happens when you play against a fully healthy championship team. This is what happens. They prove to you got to do the little things.
Yeah, and I'll let people in on Jeff. You texted me after the game and you said you think the Spurs got humbled, just as you mentioned. Mm-hmm. And I texted you back. I mean, I said, no, they just got a taste of reality. Mm-hmm. And that's the way I felt. Mm-hmm. It's a reality check for San Antonio. I'm not playing their young card, their inexperienced card no more, because again, mentioned before, they could have played that card at the beginning of the year. They could have played it any time of the year. They've never had to play that card. They've been through every emotion. They've been through everything this season. So I agree with you. They're ready for the playoffs. They're ready for a playoff push. It's about staying healthy. Do you think maybe towards the end of the season, do we see Victor rest a little bit?
Yeah, I think so. I think he still has a couple of games to spare.
I think it's 2.
Just 2 more. And look, there's two more games to spare, 3 games left. Probably say that Denver game he won't play. Maybe he'll play Monday. I mean, he'll probably want to play all 3, but I think the long term suits this team better because they can get additional rest. Because remember, the playoffs don't start with the playoffs; they start with the play-in. So the playoffs are delayed for about a little less than a week, like 4 days, I believe, 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
The play-in tournament starts. So you can get your key guy like Victor and Steph, Castle, Fox, and at least those three guys. I think you still play Harper max minutes, to get him still in that rhythm and get him some experience still. But yeah, I'm anticipating Victor at minimum to sit down a couple of these games.
Yeah, same here, man. I'm expecting him to sit a couple of games here. I think he plays Monday against
Yeah, I think he
Philadelphia.
does. Yeah, Embiid is playing now, right?
Well, so no, Embiid was out against the Pistons
Oh,
last
shocker.
night.
Shocker.
But I don't know if it's so much of an injury. They kind of got a little internal thing going in Philadelphia. He was upset that they benched him for one game. Felt like he could play, but I don't really know what's going on. The Philadelphia 76ers have been kind of a mess lately, and they've actually been one of the better teams in the East. I thought maybe they have an opportunity to actually come out of the East, to be honest with you. But now with the turmoil they've got going on now, it's probably not going to happen. Talking to Jeff Garcia, Spurs in Focus. Quick commercial break, and on the way back, we've got more Spurs Chisme for you as we're talking with Jeff Garcia from Spurs in Focus here on the Sports Answer. Quick message from Salem Surround.
You've been watching the Sports Answer, brought to you by Salem Surround. Salem Surround is proud to be San Antonio's premier digital marketing agency, offering a wide array of services like digital audio, email marketing, online reputation management, SEO, social marketing, and more. Visit salemsurround.com, San Antonio, and stay in the game.
So, like, I hear about the Spurs this y Spurs that, y como que esto y esta, pero I never hear about the real Spurs Chsime. Dime, por favor.
Yeah, we need to change those cartoon characters up. Maybe put them in the Silver Hawks there as Jeff is showing him here. Jeff Garcia, Spurs in Focus, here with myself, Rudy Campos Jr., part of Answer Now TV on YouTube. The Sports Answer is sponsored by Salem Surround, 210-526-3635. SalemSurround.com/San Antonio. Get in contact with them today to make your brand number one overall in all across the land. That is Salem Surround, 210-526-3635. And speaking of awards, man, we talked a lot about you and I about the awards here. Now, I think 2016 was the last time the Spurs have had multiple awards in a season. I can't remember offhand what it was, but could this be a year where we see multiple awards? Victor, in the MVP conversation, you've got Keldon in the six-man. After, even though Jaime Jaquez scored 34 last night, that might damper it a little bit, but Keldon's in the six-man of the year award. You've got De'Aaron Fox and a Harrison Barnes going for the Sportsmanship Award, I believe.
Sportsman and Teammate of the Year.
Sports and Teammate of the Year. You've got Mitch Johnson potentially going for Coach of the Year. Could this be a season where we see a bunch of awards for San Antonio?
And don't forget GM Brian Wright, possibly for Exec of the Year as well.
Brian Wright's another one.
So, no, I think you're going to probably see a lot of awards coming to San Antonio's trophy case very, very soon. Look, why don't just give Wemby the Defensive Player of the Year award right now? Why are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? Just give it to him right now, get it over with, and everybody celebrate and move on. So it's almost a lock for DPOY. So check. MVP. I don't know. Speaking of that, I know we're talking about awards here, but I want to go back to that game.
Yeah.
He went up against an MVP candidate, Joker. Now the numbers almost offset each other. Almost.
Yeah.
But he lost to an MVP candidate, Denver. While SGA is racking up numbers versus quality teams and teams that are fighting for something right now. Do you think that loss to Denver hurts Wemby's chase for the MVP?
No.
Okay.
Because I get it. It was, if Victor came out and scored 16 and 10 and didn't have a really good game, I think it hurts. But the loss isn't so much on Victor. It was kind of like a team loss. I mean, they lost focus all over. I don't think they hold it against him. And again, Nikola Jokic, like you mentioned, it's kind of an offset. Box score, they kind of offset it. Victor even had 5 blocks. So if you think about it, Victor still had a better game than Joker overall. I take that back. I'm gonna get slapped for saying that because Joker had no turnovers that game.
Yeah, Joker played a very, very great game versus San Antonio. And he has those lines where you look back like he did all that, like, huh? Like how
20 games. I mean, that was like, I don't think we've seen that set since what, like maybe Wilt Chamberlain days. I mean, 20 points, 20 rebounds, 20 assists. That's unheard of. And that's why I say, if you're talking about MVP player wise, screw the record. I mean, there's no way Nikola Jokic is not an MVP. But no, I don't think it hindered Victor at all. I think he's still 1-2. It's going to go to SGA, I think, only because of the record and because he's scoring. I mean, the NBA is about scoring, but if you take everything out of it, SGA is third in the MVP voting. Victor is probably 1, Nikola Jokic is 2 based off of record, and SGA is 3. SGA doesn't get rebounds. He doesn't get a whole lot of assists. He's not a great defensive player. Jokic he's leading the league in rebounding, leading the league in assists, averaging over 30 a game. I mean, Victor is obviously leading in blocks. He's having, a monster season. So if you're talking MVP, if the reality of MVP, it's Victor, it's Joker, it's SGA. If you're thinking about it. I mean, that's the way I would look at it. And recently they had Victor at 1, Shea at 2, and Nikola at 3. I can't deny that. I mean, if you're talking
I actually would flip Joker and SGA.
I really would. That's what I said. As of right now, SGA is only getting love because he's averaging 35 a game and they're the number 1 seed. That's it. Now, people say, and I heard one guy come at me recently, says, well, don't forget about the free throw stats and he's shooting this. I'm like, who cares? He's baiting. He's baiting on the calls. I mean, he's getting the calls. Who cares? But what else has SGA done? I mean, it's hard to even. I mean, I'm looking at his stats: 31.6 points a game, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. Now he is shooting 55% from the field. That's a lot. That is a lot. But again, it's not an MVP stat. Like it's not a stat that screams MVP compared to Victor and Joker.
Right.
So,
well,
I don't know.
I would do a little pushback on that and say which team, Spurs or Thunder, would feel the hurt more if they lost either Victor or SGA. I think SGA. I think the Thunder.
Even with Jared McCain?
Yes. Even with Jared McCain. Jared McCain's good, but he ain't SGA.
No, he's not SGA.
Yeah. And I think the Spurs can survive longer than perhaps the Thunder can without SGA. I mean, remember, it's the most valuable player for their team. And all these 3 guys here on your screen, they are very valuable to their team. But if we're going to start trying to sift through and figure this out, who gets the award, you may have to vault Joker again above SGA. Because do the Denver Nuggets stay afloat without Joker?
Denver's a play-in team, maybe 6th seed in the West without Joker. So if you're talking that, Joker's
probably his Joker is perhaps the most deserving of all 3.
Do you think this is the closest MVP vote that we're going to see?
Yeah, I think it is. I think they're going to give it to SGA. ESPN already released their final MVP vote for the season, and they picked SGA. So there you have it.
Most of their guys actually have Wemby winning MVP, so I don't know who they got voting for SGA at ESPN.
Yeah, they released it. I don't know if you want to pull it up, but they have a big old have SGA's face there saying like they picked him as the MVP. But the point is that I think that's how you should boil it down: is look at the candidates, remove the candidate from their team, which team would suffer the most, and that theoretically should be your MVP.
Then it's Joker.
And it's Joker, yeah.
I mean, there's really no way around it. And I did see it. They have 88 first place votes for SGA on ESPN. I mean, but it's so weird, man, because you're going at, again, we're going at most valuable player. And again, I'm like, okay, you saw 31, 4, and 6 for SGA. Victor is 24. Obviously, he's not 31, 7 points away, 11 rebounds a game, which is clear by far, but 6 assists for SGA, 3 assists for Victor. So again, three assists different. Obviously, Victor leads in blocks. Victor's shooting 50, almost 51% from the field. Stat line wise, I mean, Victor puts up more, if not the same stats as SGA.
Yeah.
So it goes back to, okay, you're going to rely on record. I get the record part. I mean, they're going to win they're going to be the top seed in the West. They're going to be the number 1 overall seed in the NBA, but should record really matter in this case? I mean, MVP is most valuable player. If they needed this to be most valuable player on your team, it would need to state most valuable player on your team, because then look at Cade Cunningham.
Yeah, I mean, he was healthy, then maybe he deserves it the most.
Yeah, I mean, then Luka Doncic. We're going to see how great the Lakers are without Luka.
They ain't going to be that great, I'll tell you that much.
Again, that's why they've got to kind of clarify on that, man, because it's a difficult situation and a difficult voting here.
Do you also think, too, this could be a factor? And this is something I've been thinking about.
Yeah, let me on it.
As a topic, for Spurs in Focus. And knowing Rudy, and he's a frequent guest, so he'll probably get that guest spot for this topic. Do you think also there could be Wemby fatigue? Like, okay, we get it. He's good. All right. And just move on. Like, he ties his shoes. Oh my God. He's the greatest thing in ever. He can tie his shoes. Oh, I've never seen a 7-footer tie his shoes like that. You think you were crossing that threshold of Wemby fatigue already?
No, I would say no. I think we're getting more fatigue from SGA.
Really? Okay. Well, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
People are always calling him out for those fouls that he's getting called for or not called against and all that.
But is he really like? I mean, if that's part of the game,
it's part. Like, no.
You can only work with the rules you have, and if
well, he does. Okay, so he does extend his arm. Yeah. He does. I mean,
Tim Duncan did that.
Clear as day. But again, that's what I was going to say. He does extend his arm, but let's not forget there's other players. There was our MVPs. There's those local Spurs that have done the same.
Kobe did it.
You play until you get caught time after time after time again. That's the reason why players carry the ball all the time now. They don't call palming. They don't call nothing like that. They don't even call traveling anymore. So, I mean, you play with what's given to you. Now, I don't think there are a lot of calls SGA gets that are not foul calls. I mean, he does get the benefit of the doubt. He gets the Michael Jordan treatment. He gets the LeBron treatment, stuff like that. I don't think it's so much Victor fatigue. I think what it is it Victor fatigue, or is it we don't know how to vote? We're just going to go with the best team.
Probably.
If you see what I'm
that's
saying.
That's what it is. Yeah.
I mean, they don't mind Victor hyping himself up. They don't mind. I mean, every time you see it, oh my God, did you see that move by Victor? Yeah. Oh my God, this and that. They're more excited for Victor this season than they have the past couple of seasons.
Yeah.
They're never going to get tired of Joker.
Yeah.
But I think everybody's getting tired of SGA.
Yeah, I'll tell you this much, Rudy. I would vote for this guy to be the MVP of the Silverhawks. Yeah.
That would be the MVP of all MVPs right there. One more.
But all kidding aside here, to me, it's that simple. Who is the most important to the team of these three? Then you got to go Joker. I'm not trying to rain on the parade, Spurs fans. I'm not. No, but remove Wemby, and the Spurs have proven they can keep their heads above water for a while. Remove Joker from that Denver team. Yikes.
Yeah, Denver's, I mean, play in, maybe succeed. I mean, no.
Would you think that for the SGA? Remove SGA, and we saw it. The SGA was out for a while this season, and they weren't looking as the dominant team as they were without him. But I think if any of these three, Rudy, the biggest fall off is Joker.
Well, I'm going through the Thunder's record, and they're similar to San Antonio. They've never lost more than 2 games all year. They've only had a 2-game losing streak. And with SGA being out for some of those games, I mean, he hasn't missed hardly any games. I mean, maybe a few games. What was it? Maybe from February till maybe the month of February is when he missed the most games. And I mean, they lost 3-4 games in the month of February. So I don't know, man. I mean, SGA is important, but
right. Hey, because we're talking about Denver now and Joker and everything. After the loss, did your fear of facing Denver increase or about the same?
I never changed.
Never changed,
I still feel Denver. And again,
Yeah.
I hate this. I'm gonna get Spurs fans all over me, but I still feel Denver ultimately is better playoff time than San Antonio. I think the Spurs can beat Denver in a 7-game series. The most important thing for me is the Spurs need home court advantage, which they will have. They're 9 games ahead of Denver. I mean, there's no way
they
Denver
got that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to stay home court. That was the reason why I take San Antonio in 7 against Denver because of home court. But would it shock me if Denver beat San Antonio? Absolutely not.
No,
it would.
That wouldn't shock me at all.
What would shock me? This is funny. This is what would shock me if Denver and San Antonio face in the second round. If the Spurs beat them in 4 or 5, that would absolutely shock me. I would probably not watch the NBA the rest of the playoffs because I would be in total disbelief. This is potentially the best series of playoff basketball in this playoff coming up here. If they happen to meet, we got to get there first.
Well, I mean, look at the regular season between these two teams. I mean, they've been hella close. They just been so close each and every game.
Yeah, this would, to me, that series would determine the NBA champion, I would say. Because again, I love OKC, but OKC hasn't been that dominant team they were last year.
Or even to start the season. Remember, this start the season, they looked scary.
They looked very scary.
Remember, they were talking about they can break the Warriors' win-loss record. I mean, it was up to that point already.
They were 24-1 to start the season after 25 games. I mean, they could have broken the Warriors' record, but they had some hiccups. They had this, they had
injuries.
That. Injuries happen. But to me, if you put the Thunder and you put the Spurs, the Thunder and the Nuggets, the Thunder do not have anything to match up with either of those teams. Plain and simple. The Spurs have a deeper team than the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Nuggets have a deeper team than the Oklahoma City Thunder. You have to worry about Shea, but they both have guys that can contain Chet Holmgren. They both have guys that can defend Jalen Williams. You just let SGA have his, and if he has an off night, he has an off night. But they have guys that can actually make it tough for SGA. That's why I don't buy the Oklahoma City height in the playoffs. I really don't.
And they are the defending champs, though.
They are the defending champs, but it's so hard to be back-to-back in the NBA these days, I think, more than anything. What's happened a lot.
This is probably the well, in recent history, the one team, OKC, that makes me feel like if any, they probably could. I think they probably could repeat.
They probably could.
Yeah, maybe. Because okay, fine. Maybe they expose San Antonio inexperience if they meet. There's that. And look at their bracket. I mean, who they got in their bracket? Like Houston, what is it, the Blazers?
The Lakers.
The Lakers, probably. I mean, they're going to have a lot easier path than the Spurs will.
Yeah.
The Spurs will have to deal with Minnesota, right? And Denver, in if one of those two teams, if not both, or am I getting that wrong?
Let me
Minnesota flips to the OKC bracket side.
So as of right now, OKC, it would be San Antonio, Denver, and
Phoenix, right? I think Phoenix, if they advance.
Yeah, I think it would be Houston. Let me
Houston, okay.
Let me look at.
I think it's Phoenix. So I think Phoenix is on this side of the bracket.
Yeah,
but
let me get the current playoff bracket here.
But no, look, MVP. I think it's going to come down to just two guys, Victor and SGA. That's it. I think ultimately it'll come down to those two. Because talk about fatigue, maybe there's Joker fatigue right now too for this award.
I don't know if there is, man. I really don't know if there is.
And he should have won it ever since he's been playing at this level. Then I mean, that's how good he is.
Well, as of right now, this would be the Spurs would either play the Suns or Blazers or Clippers or Warriors. You have to do all that stuff out. But in the second round, they would either, as of right now, face either the Lakers or Timberwolves. Now, we're going to say the Lakers fall, so Denver would get that 3 seed. So it'd be Denver or Minnesota if they both happen to win. Both teams very capable of beating San Antonio in that second round. I mean, I'm more scared of Denver than I am Minnesota.
Me too.
But again, you, myself, everybody, every single time the past couple of years, we've written Minnesota off, and they're in the Western Conference Finals for whatever reason. I mean, they just get there for whatever reason. Anthony Edwards and Rudy Gobert, become Magic Johnson and Kareem all of a sudden, and it surprises the heck out of us. I don't think it happens this year, but I mean, I don't know, man. The Spurs and Nuggets, if they get to that third seed, that would be 7 games minimum. I don't think it goes any. I mean, it doesn't go any less than that.
I think the whole. I think I don't. When you look at the brackets and the pairings as of now, I don't think there's one pairing that I think would be a bad series.
No,
even if Phoenix Spurs in Spurs opening round, that'd be fun. I think that'd be fun.
That'd be really good.
Yeah,
that'd be a really fun series. I think. Do you think it goes at least 5 or 6 games?
Yeah, 5 or 6. Yeah,
I think so.
You got to figure Booker gets cooking in one of these games.
Do you fear Phoenix or Portland?
Phoenix
more. Phoenix or the Clippers?
Phoenix.
Yeah, I think Phoenix a little bit more. Even though the Clippers could get relatively hot, and we've seen them give the Spurs a little bit of fits. I don't really worry too much about the Warriors. The Trailblazers, I can get behind the Trailblazers, but I think they're still relative. That's too young of a squad right there. I think I would go with the young card on that one. Nonetheless, man.
They're on the OKC side of the bracket, right? Portland, excuse me.
Well, they're in the play-in side, so they've got to get to the play-in right now. If they so happen to fall that first game against the Suns and they've got to play the winner of the Clippers and the Warriors, they win that, then they end up going to play Oklahoma City. So they could probably rough up OKC a little bit. Golly, who's the coach? Is it Thiago?
Yes, Thiago. Yes, Thiago.
Thiago. So, I mean, he's going to have them ready for the playoffs. There's no doubt about that. It's going to be a fun playoff series. Before we go, Jeff, I got to ask you, because I asked Jacob when we were on doing the show the other day, and I want to ask you, came out, as you see, those Spurs playoff tickets, you had to be within 150 miles to get playoff tickets. Now, my thing was, this was the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. And I know teams do it. I know franchises do it. But I told Jacob, I said, okay, the first round, I get it. Say they meet the Lakers in the second round. Have they not seen the purple and gold in the Frost Bank Center?
The transplants.
Are you going to tell me that the current people that live in San Antonio are not allowed to buy tickets because they're Laker fans? They're going to stop Laker fans or Houston fans or somebody from going to the Frost Bank because they don't live in San Antonio?
No, not at all. That's not going to stop them. And even if you do live outside the radius, could you use a VPN and just fake it? Probably. And still get tickets. I think the intent is good. I get what you're doing, Spurs. You're trying to get more Spurs fans in there versus the enemy's fans, but you can't stop it. Who knows? What if there's out of nowhere just a bunch of OKC fans that have been living in San Antonio and they just came out of the closet and they said, well, here we are. We got our tickets. And also, too, there's ways around it. You could be part of the Spurs club, like an official club member, and get tickets that way.
Yeah.
So there's no way to stop it. You could just try to minimize it. And I think what the Spurs are trying to do is just minimize it. And who's to stop anybody from just contacting you and just saying, hey, man.
Exactly.
What can you pick up some tickets? I'll give you the money. I'll PayPal it to you.
And the other thing is local people are going to buy up the tickets, and who's to say out of towners aren't going to pay, it's $150 ticket. I'll give you $225 for it.
Are you dropping that cash?
No, absolutely not.
No. I think the nosebleeds are still crazy, right?
Yeah, they are. My daughter wants to go to a game. She doesn't want to go to a playoff game because she's not there yet, but she wants to go to a game, and I've told her, let me look at tickets. And I can't see myself spending $400 on tickets.
Don't say it's $400. Please tell me you're just embellishing that.
So I cannot sit in nosebleed. I just can't do it. Middle of the pack.
Oh, okay. So
I think it's
further down. Yeah.
150, 125 a ticket. And that's just for a regular season game. Yeah. I mean, regular season game. I I can't go make more money. I don't have time to go get another job right now. I do probably need to get one, but I don't have that kind of time. And then I've even heard people, well, you can Klarna it and make it in 4 payments. I mean, do you realize I'm spending $400 on tickets? 4 payments is $100 a month or every 2 weeks. I'm like, I can't do that. I mean, for one game, parking not included. I got to go buy, we got to buy something to eat there. It's not worth it to me. I'll be honest. It's not worth it to me.
You think the games will sell out, right? You think the Frost will sell out?
I mean, apparently they've already sold out the first 2 games.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, like I said, they're going to buy the tickets. People are buying the tickets. They're excited.
It's a lot of cash, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure people are listing them for sale after De'Aaron Fox's mishaps tonight, according to the social media posts that we see everywhere.
You see the one somebody did like an AI thing. They put him in a terrorist outfit.
What?
They put him in like some sort of terrorist outfit. He, terrorized his own team. I mean, Spurs fans are going off the deep end right now.
For one game. I
would get it if this was a string of games in a row and it cost the Spurs maybe the 2 seed and drops them to the 3 or 4, something like that. But one game, look, heads up, everybody. Victor will probably have a bad game in the playoffs. That's probably going to happen. I hope not. Chances are high it's not going to happen, but don't be surprised if it does. But Castle, same thing too. It happens to everybody. Tim Duncan had stinkers. Manu had bad games. It happens.
Yeah,
but it doesn't happen to Rudy Campos. He's never had a bad game in any type of organized basketball that he's been in.
Makes you wonder why I have never been signed by an NBA team after my.
Hey, you could probably latch on to one of the expansion teams.
I probably could. I didn't get drafted in the WNBA. They had their expansion draft recently. Maybe I can jump on Seattle or Vegas. Do you think they even get a team?
I think so. Do
you think people are upset because they haven't come out and said, well, we're going to give you a team? They're just kind of getting a feel to see if they're willing to pay it.
Vegas is already putting out, well, I don't say Vegas, but odds makers are already putting out odds on what the team names will be. Like the names out there for the Vegas side are, and I think this is a horrible idea, is the Jokers, because the card Jokers.
Okay.
The other name is, I think it's cooler, the Mirage. I think that's kind of cool.
Wow.
Las Vegas Mirage. And I don't know if this next name was applied to the Seattle team or the Vegas team. Either way, it doesn't matter. I think this one's cool. Venom.
Ooh.
Seattle Venom or the Vegas Venom.
You can't do Seattle Venom. It's the Sonics. It's the Supersonics.
You got to do the Sonics, right? You got the Sonics come back, right?
Okay, it cannot be anything different.
Okay, but I like. Well, fine. Then Vegas Venom. I think that's kind of cool.
The Vegas Venom. That would be. Wow, I'm gonna have to think about that.
I like the Mirage. That's second for me on that list there.
If you had to get a name just off the top of your head, what would you go for Vegas?
For Vegas, like of the 3 that I just put out right now,
or your own?
On my own. That's a good one. No, I think Aces would have been the best one, but that's already taken.
I was just gonna say the Aces. There's no way they can
taken.
There's no way they can ask the Aces for permission, right?
Do you like? Well, I mean, I'll give you an answer in a bit, but do you like the Golden Knights? I mean, how does that fit into the Vegas scene?
I mean, that's their hockey team, and I like that. Their hockey team is the Golden Knights. I'm fine.
I got one. And you can have fun with this one. The Strip.
Oh man, Vegas Strip.
The Vegas Strip.
That
could have people have fun with that one.
That would, people would have so much fun with that.
What about a 2-worded nickname like the Vegas Snake Eyes?
That one, no. How can you go with that one? That I like the Mirage, like you said earlier. That was one of them. The Mirage is good. The Venom's, I think the Venom's good, but I'm not sure you can get behind the Venom. I mean,
I kind of loosely get it. It's out in the desert. There's snakes out there. I understand that. What about the?
Does it have to be Vegas themed? That's the question. I mean, you can go with the Rage. The Rage would be. I mean, you could have a lot of fun with the Rage.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking everything that I can. The Rampage relocated to Vegas. The hockey team that was in San Antonio.
Vegas Rampage. That sounds. I like that one.
That sounds, I think, really, really cool. The Rampage. That would be a good one. But I don't know, man. I just know Seattle has to stay with the Sonics. It cannot be anything more.
What about
It cannot be anything less.
What about the Vegas prostitutes?
No, Jesus, man. You do remember that this is a radio
Oh,
show.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we
I mean,
can't.
but
we
that
can't
is
do
a that is a technical term. That is, it's not a cuss word. It's, you look at the dictionary, it's there, so it's valid.
It's Webster approved. We'll say
it's
that.
Webster
Webster
approved.
approved.
I did not cross the line, FCC.
You know, you brought about the expansion part. Before we go, I want to ask you this. We've talked many times about the Spurs, you know, who they would have from their team. They have to have, what, 7 players or 8 players? Can't remember. I think it's
I don't remember.
Say it's 7.
Okay.
It's Wemby, Vassell, Harper, Fox, Castle, and Keldon. And then we were talking either Julian or Cornette. I think you keep Cornette.
I was gonna say you keep Julian.
I think you keep Cornette. You got to get a big man to stay behind Wemby.
But you need floor spacing for Wemby.
You can get another floor spacer.
Can you get another Cornette too?
No.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think
Hartenstein, guys like that are out there. Hartenstein
doesn't leave Oklahoma City.
You don't think so? I had him on my chopping block for them.
Mitchell Rob. Oh, well, no, he's probably a part of the expansion draft.
Yeah.
But is it okay? So expansion draft, I don't know. I got to look into it again. If you don't get drafted, you return to your team, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he either gets drafted or he goes back to OKC.
Yeah, but
there's really nobody else out there.
Man, no, I think I would lean Julian.
That's a good topic.
That's a good topic. I'm gonna write that down for Spurs in Focus.
I think Cornette stays, man. I think you let Julian go, and Julian does get drafted. I mean, there's no doubt about that. He'll get picked up by one of the teams. I think you keep.
How does
Cornette.
that work though? They literally have they just call you up and say, "All right, you're going to Vegas or you're going to Seattle."
Well, so like what it is they had the expansion draft for the WNBA, almost like a similar NBA draft, like a WNBA draft. You know, Seattle would pick first, Vegas would pick second, Seattle would pick third. It just goes down the road until they get their 12 players, and that's all it is.
But is it a snake draft or just repeat?
No? I think it's just 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Okay.
I think it's kind of like a coin toss or something like that. They get. Then they have a pick in the upcoming NBA draft whenever they get their franchises going. It's not going to be this year. But yeah, I mean, this is crazy. There's even talk that LeBron James will be available in the expansion draft.
You know what? The NBA probably would love that.
Well, I mean, imagine that, LeBron James in Vegas. I mean,
it writes itself.
I mean, you'd have a 50-year-old guy, but I mean,
hey,
if you look at the
old people go there for to spend their Social Security money.
It was crazy because one guy had LeBron James being a part of the expansion draft, and I kind of get it. I mean, he's on the last part of his career. I mean, well, why not? Why not have him there? It's going to be crazy, man. It is so crazy. Jeff, appreciate you joining us here on the Sports Answer, part of Answer Now TV. You can catch Jeff, Spurs in Focus. Just go to YouTube, Spurs in Focus. Search that. You can catch him on his Spurs in Focus YouTube channel. Spurs in Focus Substack. There's nothing behind it. You know what? I'm going to give the first 50 fans that like this episode, Jeff, I'm going to give them a subscription to your Substack because it's free. It's free. I'm going to give them all a subscription to your Substack.
Rudy's a big spender. Look at that.
I'm going to use the station money to give them subscriptions to Jeff's Substack there. But you can also find Spurs in Focus, part of Answer Now TV on YouTube. Jeff, again, appreciate
Rudy will likely be on this week, so heads up. Probably more than one. So heads up, everybody.
Probably so. You can definitely catch me on there. But I appreciate everybody joining us here for the Sports Answer. Again, part of Answer Now TV. Salem Surround 210-526-3635. For Jeff Garcia, it's Rudy Campos Jr. You have those sports questions, we got the Sports Answer. See you guys later.
You've been watching the Sports Answer, brought to you by Salem Surround. Salem Surround is proud to be San Antonio's premier digital marketing agency, offering a wide array of services like digital audio, email marketing, online reputation management, SEO, social marketing, and more. Visit salemsurround.com, San Antonio, and stay in the game.